meeting to order at 5:30. And Heather Leduc, our new district manager, I'd like to introduce you. And if you want to lead us in the pledge, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Remember how it starts?
Yeah.
All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with indivisible and justice for all.
Somebody screwed me up. Me
Wow,
too.
Nate, you did it again.
What did you do?
No. He
He
messed up
doesn't,
the,
he needs to study the pledge.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not a veteran.
Tricked me out. You tricked me right out. All right. Roll call, board members.
All right. Mike Zagorski.
here,
Glenn Vandewater.
here,
Nate Brockman.
Here.
Russ Ross. Absent. Joe
Yep.
Kaplan.
Is here. Approval of agenda. Any additions to the agenda? None? How about a motion to accept?
I'll
agenda?
make the motion that we accept the agenda as
Renee,
stated.
Mike, support. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Conflict of interest disclosure? Hearing none, we'll move on. Public comment on agenda items. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Public comment? No comment? Moving on, thank you. Approval of meeting minutes, we have two. One from January 10th, 2024, a regular board meeting, and then January 19th, 2024 was our special board meeting to go over the bids for our IT services. You should have both those meeting minutes in front of you.
and I noticed something in January 10th
Of course you did. What was that?
on, oh, there's not page numbers on here, so let me see. 2, 3, 4. I guess it would be page 5.
Okay,
First paragraph,
yeah,
according to Mr. Mattson, Fisher Insurance indicated that the only trailer that needed to be registered was the one that carried the tractor.
Wow.
A
that should,
flatbed, that should be insured and not registered.
you are correct. All right,
And that's all I could find in either one of those.
and are, any other corrections?
No.
You want me to add, page numbers too?
It'd probably be all right to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anybody else? Can I get a motion to accept the, meeting minutes from January 10th, 2024 with the, corrections of adding page numbers and changing registered to insured?
Also moved.
Okay, Nate,
Support.
support by Mike. Any other discussion? All those in favor of accepting the January 10th, 2024 regular board meetings, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, that motion carries. How about January 19th? Some discussion for the 19th?
No. not for me.
Anybody want to make a motion to accept those as provided?
So moved.
Michael,
I'll second it.
Nate, any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
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 Opposed, same, motion carries. Thank you very much. Treasurer's report. Money man, Mike Zagorski.
I'm trying to total up all these checks here.
That bill paid just the treasurer's report, right?
The banking setup for Nicolay is complete.
All right.
I know Senator Larson Hoppla is still diligently working at transitioning our QuickBooks and establishing online banking. They've paid our taxes, sent out employee W-2s. Closing of the books with county is still incomplete, but we are moving this along.
All right. So treasurer's report in the, like, profit loss and that sort of thing?
Well, I'm going to just,
For some reason I can't find it.
well, I have it printed, I don't know if you get it.
Is that in the board packet? No?
Or just in mine.
Yeah, right here.
Yep.
Okay.
If anyone had a desire to look at the numbers,
You want this one, Joe?
Oh, you know what? It's my superior organizational skills that combined into something else, so, all right, I'm up to speed, thank you.
So this was in our packet, but you didn't send these.
Correct.
Okay, good.
what I asked for, or what I appreciate getting, supplied by Christine, this, profit and loss transaction report. And there's more than that. And statement of cash flow. So, I move we, well, I can't move because I'm the treasurer. So, it is what it is. We have $35,233.37 worth of bills to pay when we get to it. The rest of this is the bookkeeping, where we stand.
Gotcha,
So I would encourage you guys to look at it, and just to get familiar with it a little bit.
any questions for Michael? All right, could I get a motion to accept the treasurer's report for this month?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report for this month.
Glenn, how about a second on that?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Nate. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mike. Standing committee reports. Personnel?
I'd like to bring to everyone's attention, I received an email yesterday from Rivka Hodgkinson, who is the interim MAC director. I'm gonna paraphrase some of this, pull out a couple things. Important announcement. The current budget for the state recommendations for 24/2025 fiscal year is to reduce conservation district funding by $1 million annually and move the MEEP program to a state-managed program for $10.8 million with a significant reduction in MEEP staff. So apparently, the folks that are on there's a committee formed that they're approaching legislators, I assume. They've sent a letter to Tim Boring, who's at MDARD, expressing concerns about this. It isn't a done deal, but they're concerned that if this moves, that this would affect our MEEP person possibly. So, and you're aware of this, Heather? You've
A
read
little
this?
bit, I've heard, yeah. we've
Okay,
been talking about it.
I don't know if anyone else got this, or maybe it was only sent to the people at,
I didn't get anything through email or anything. Rachel just mentioned something.
this might have come because I was signed up at that conference. Okay, so anyway, it's been brought to your attention. I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. They're gonna have a Zoom meeting on February 20th at 10 a.m. and then again on the 20th at 6:30 p.m. to detail some of this issue.
All right.
If you didn't get it, I can forward it to you.
That would be great.
Okay. All right.
Anything else? All right, and again, I'd like to welcome and introduce Heather Leduc, our new district manager, started on January 29th.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here.
It's good to be back.
Very
All
nice.
right, yeah. Yeah, Heather was
My
the,
second
as you know,
time.
district manager from 2020 to 2022.
Correct.
All right. Welcome. Property and equipment.
Nothing at this time.
Okay.
Although,
dun, dun, dun.
I would strongly suggest we list our silk curtains.
Okay.
Find a way of getting them.
Yeah, cause if there's any possibility that we can move those,
Mm-hmm.
that would free up 2/3 of our storage space.
Okay,
Easily.
Yeah,
I can
because
look
it-
into that.
Yeah, I mean, having,
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I will put that down on my list of things to do.
Awesome.
maybe I'll touch base with you, cause I had gotten a couple, directions of, contact places too that might
Yeah, that would be
show interest in a.
fantastic.
There's a couple locally and I think, I'll have to look at my notes, but I think a state agency
Oh,
also. so.
Okay, great.
All right, anything else in there?
Silk curtains.
So we'll move along to records. Anything with records? Who's on records with me?
You and I.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Not much talk.
I moved a box.
Moved the box. I went through everything looking for a certificate of titles, but I'll talk about that a
Yeah,
little bit.
well,
And license plates.
Speaking of that, I helped them move some stuff too, and there's some stuff that has to be gone through that needs to be filtered out.
Lifetime. All right, moving right along, how about finance? I have one shortly. Hopla Schneider, unless, oh no, that's down in unfinished business. Michael.
Well, excuse me. I really have nothing other than I presented earlier.
Good enough. MDARD report, Rachel's not here.
I do have it though.
You do, all right.
Did any of you get this? I didn't
No,
see
she
it.
didn't send anything this.
Okay, I will start, do you want me to start forwarding it?
Yeah, if she's not here, then.
Cause before I used to just
Yeah.
forward it to all staff and, I would put it in the packets. So I didn't know if you just wanted electronic copies or both.
Yeah, we're gonna set up an account, that's what we talked about, setting up an
Okay.
account. There'd be a central clearinghouse for all these sort of things.
Okay, perfect.
Gonna mention
Yeah,
that.
just excuse me as I try to remember how things
We're
are
still
done.
finding our footings. Thank you.
So that is the report from Rachel.
Anything here we should be aware of?
No.
Okay, read it at your leisure.
Grants will come as I get my feet a little bit more planted, but
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
I didn't see really anything that jumped out though for us right now.
All right. Natural Resources Conservation Service report.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Mike Van Wyk, yeah.
And hopefully with the meetings in the evening, I'll be able to make more of them. I apologize.
Not at
This is
all.
my first meeting here since you guys have all been on the board. But I gave each of you a folder. And inside that folder, loosely in there is Michaela's report for the month. And then on the left-hand side of that folder, some of you guys had asked about programs and kind of what NRCS offers as an agency. So I've got some brochures in there that kind of gives you a rough idea of our program offerings. And then on the right-hand side of that folder is our program numbers from fiscal year 2023. So federal government's fiscal year runs from October 1st through September 30th. So that's what we ended up across the state as far as contracts go, and then dollars. So you can see Delta County for our main two programs, Environmental Quality Incentives Program and Conservation Stewardship Program, did pretty well as compared to the rest of the state. So that kind of shows the good work that not only Rhonda and Michaela work in my office, but certainly the efforts of Holly and Lindsay as well. So definitely supporting the efforts of NRCS. So definitely appreciate all of them. And then of course Heather on board now as well. So.
Yeah, look forward to learning more about the program, and you're considered the district conservationist for the
Right, yep.
USDA NRCS.
Yep, so I'm basically the manager of our field office here in Gladstone. We have
Okay.
6 field offices across the UP, and then I think there's 55 all across the state of Michigan, or right around that 55 mark.
All right.
How different are your numbers from the other counties, I mean, just generally speaking?
If you look at the maps here, it'll show you numbers of contracts in each of the county.
Okay.
So one of the pages will be for the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. One side will have the contract numbers, and then the other the contract
Okay.
dollars.
Okay.
And then our conservation stewardship programs,
Oh, wow.
the other main program for us.
Nice,
So,
good, thank you.
I'm definitely looking forward to the luncheon and talking a little more in depth about what we do and how each of the members of the team, what their roles are, and that kind of thing.
Gosh, yeah, we look forward to that too. All right. Thanks for,
Thanks, Mike.
missing us.
Yeah, you bet. And of course, anytime you guys have questions on anything, I tell you guys, I have an open door, so come see me. So
Okay.
you might call ahead. Sometimes we're busy out in the field, so I'm not always in the office, but definitely I'll make time for you to sit down and talk about anything you want to talk about.
And how long have you been a conservationist?
So I've been here in Gladstone, it was September of 2018, but I was a district conservationist in Kansas for 6 years. My first 4 years with the agency was in Oklahoma, as a soil conservationist working underneath a district conservationist, so kind of the role that Michaela has, except she's state employed or district employed, whereas I was federal government employed by NRCS, but grew up in Wisconsin, so went to school in Stevensburg. So.
Gotcha. So you know a little something about Little Bluestone, right?
Yeah,
Prairies,
yep,
alright.
yep, I worked in.
I think Heather wants to add prairie, forbs and grass, native forbs and grasses. So.
So I
Yes.
worked in far western Oklahoma where there is 18 inches of rain, so all the
Yeah.
low growth prairies, and then certainly Kansas we had more of the tall grass prairies.
Yeah, that's your prairie chicken.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
and great,
Yeah.
and great
Yeah.
prairie chicken.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
Oh, that's all I got, unless you guys have questions for me.
Any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Staff reports,
Hey,
district manager.
That's me.
Heather.
okay. Well, I am just basically getting to know my whole new world again. So I have done some onboarding with Rachel. She came down a couple times. Rachel Booth from Indard in Marquette. And we met a couple times. I went up to Marquette and met with her for a third visit, and she will be back next Wednesday. And we're gonna go through grants and stuff like that. So that's been super, super helpful. I took the staff out and we had some time to just get to know me and for me to get to know them, and that was nice. And then tree sale, I just kinda hit the ground running, so it's been tree sale. And I've been working with Glenn, Joe, Chris, even Mike, on just getting to know, like, getting it going. So we have it online. It went online on Monday. Super exciting. The store looks gorgeous, Chris. That's been really helpful. And I printed out a catalog if you want to see it. We're not really handing these out, but I wanted to have one in case you guys want to see what's going on. We do have a system where they'll order online, pay online. If they don't use credit cards, we have a system where I will walk through them. Like today I got a call and there's somebody that doesn't use internet, so I'm gonna call her back tomorrow and we'll make sure that she can get her order in another way. But yeah, it's going good. I have, as far as tree sale goes, I printed off this little report. It was weird, I couldn't get it to print that great, but we started on, we opened up on Monday at like 8 a.m. and we're at $7,000 already, which is pretty good. Johnson Sprinting, so last year Holly had told me they just sent out a postcard. It was online, like the catalog, but not the ordering. So we did that again this year. We sent out the postcard, but this time we put the QR code and said, go to our website, you can order here. So that went out on Monday, so it should be in people's mail probably today. I did confirm with Johnson's that they took that, or they sent that. So it should start ramping up. But 7,000 is pretty good.
How many orders does that represent?
And that is 24 orders so far. We have had a couple.
Was I number one?
Oh, I don't know. It's either you or Chris was, yeah, and then Holly was there too.
Oh, you beat me by a half hour.
Holly got in there too before I got the codes out for staff. But but yeah, and this is really cool, it shows like the top items so far, tamarack, Bartlett pears, Norway spruce, and fireside, it gives you top
What was the last
four.
one?
Fireside apples, very
Fireside
popular
apples.
right now.
Are they? While
The
supplies
CSP
last.
lands, or probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not CSP, so we just
Yeah.
do native stuff through our programs. but-
Tamarack, right?
Tamarack certainly.
Yeah. So, anyway, I will have this if you ever are curious, and then as we move along, I can send out reports or whatever, but this is really neat. So 7,000 there. We did go on the radio recently, was that Monday? Yeah, Monday we went on the radio with Craig Warple, and, I'm gonna try to get to, the Radio Results Network as well.
Did you ask him if he archives it? 'Cause I can't find it.
Think so, cause you
Is he
listened to it later,
I
didn't you?
don't know if the archives.
I'll text him.
Oh.
I listened to a recording.
Oh, okay.
So you can order at deltacd.org
DeltaCD.org, yes. Yep,
while supplies last.
that's right. And, I'm sorry.
You can take walk-ins too, if somebody does not get on, they can come and see you at the
Yes.
office, and you can help them out, walk them through there.
Yes, and we've done that a couple times.
Yeah, there's a kiosk set up, dedicated.
Oh, yeah,
computer for
I
it.
probably didn't mention that, so there's a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, we have a kiosk set up, and so they can come in, nice big screen, somebody did comment on that, like, wow, it's great. So, it's very user-friendly, and there should be someone always there to help them.
If anyone that uses it or goes into the site, or it's on Facebook, recommend your friends to check out the volunteer site. Is that on there, or is that on a separate site on Facebook? The volunteer page you had set up?
That's on a separate site, it's on our website, but it's
Because I'm
separate.
telling people to go to the site and look for the volunteer.
Mhm. Yep, they can.
So they can sign up.
Yep.
Telling them exactly, what it's gonna be like, cause we're not exactly sure when we're gonna be handling the trees, but,
Right.
yeah.
It usually, so typically it was, when I did it with Rory, it was like 2 or 3 days before. We'd have volunteers come. So we did it ourselves. He would go down there, and so, Steve and all those guys would go down there, but we didn't have volunteers until like 2 or 3 days before
Yeah.
the sale. And then we talked about having like a drive-through, so if there's wait time, they can wait in their cars where they're comfortable, and we'll radio in, and by the time they get up there, they'll be able to pick up their trees, and there won't be huge lines and people waiting, and hopefully that'll work great. I know I talked with Rachel about Marquette, and, they said they do that, and it works great every year. So, we have a lot of space, we have more space than they're using out in Marquette, so we should be good.
Yeah, we're at the fairgrounds.
At the fairgrounds
Right.
again, and we're like one barn over. They might have been in that barn last year, but one barn over that I'm used to, so it's a nicer route. Glenn and I went and checked that out, and Glenn got all the paperwork, so we're good to go. So, that's tree sale. Facebook, I took over, I assumed control over Facebook. Took it from Glenn, cause his posts were just getting out of hand.
Okay, Boomer.
Just kidding. So we're just trying to get the word out that we have a Facebook page now. We have some people on there, but I definitely, I boosted it today. I thought I did it for free, but I got another one just coming like, hey, just pay $2 for more. So whatever, I'll have to figure that out later. It keeps charging me, but we'll have pictures there. We'll put surveys there. I put a couple, little facts, biggest tree. Just trying to get some kind of engagement on there for people. And then we can really start to figure out what the community wants through that Facebook page as well.
Like and share.
Huh?
Like and share.
Like and share, yeah, and share photos, and people can, hopefully it'll just help people feel more connected to us and to the community, and that we are their partner. And so we talked about the pickup, the radio show, branding, as far as branding goes. I did put in a request to update the logo. So this logo right here, that we all know on our website with the, Michigan map, that is actually the old logo. I think right when I was leaving in 2022, the MACD had updated their logo, and it's like a teardrop. That's it. That's the new logo. So I put in a request down in Lansing to have, they'll put like, Delta on there.
Oh, okay.
And then, and when I talked to them, they said, we can create our own logo if we want at some point, but that's just so nice and connects us to the other districts, and so that should be coming, they said 2 to 4 weeks, and then somebody emailed me and said Monday, last week, they said, oh, it'll be there on Monday, so
Great.
I'll follow up, but as soon as we get that, I want, there's things that we can do with that, so, that's more to come on that one. I did have a round table discussion, I am participating in those, so that'll be, I think, once a month. I will meet with the other, district managers, and there's little funding opportunities and partnerships. There's a great guy right now that, from the UPRC&D, which is the UP Resource Conservation and Development Council.
Nick.
Yes, Nick Castle,
Cancel, yeah.
who has a lot of funding available for projects. And
Nice.
so he's like, I have $2 million, like,
Can help with that.
yes, he was like, there's lots of low hanging fruit here, so, come pick it. So, not just, like invasives, I know we have board members that are really behind that, and then, fish habitat, trail development, pollinator gardens, all kinds of stuff, so I will make sure that I, talk to Nick and see what we can do. And then tomorrow, Joe and I are going to meet with Roger Levin. I'm very excited about. He is a rice chief out of Lac des Erres, and somebody that I've worked with in the past. He helped get Manuman, wild rice, as a state grain, and so there's money behind that now because it's the official state grain. But that's another thing that Nick had said that they're really interested in working with coastal restoration projects with wild rice. So, and they're doing it in Delta County with Hannibal.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, we want to be a part of that too.
There's a large bed up here,
I do
Before-
not know where they are in Delta County. But Roger's
I know
gonna be
where
here
they're at.
tomorrow.
I kayak through them.
Don't
There's
give
a
it
large
away.
bed, huh?
That'll be
Don't
interesting.
give it away.
Well,
We'll
it's
have
just-
to ask Roger tomorrow if he knows of that, cause
Yeah.
you should know, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like
cool, you'll have
It's
to
like a
show me
fishing
that later.
hole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get.
Well, and it's,
Longsword.
it's really good to know, cause when people know about it, they can protect it. When you don't know about it, you don't know what happens,
That's been
but.
there quite a while. My friends raced that 30 years ago.
It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
That's
I've no
another
idea.
thing that I didn't know about living in Delta County,
Yeah.
which I'm from Marquette County, and that's where I've been, over 20 years, and I know that area very, very well. I've been here about 5 years, and I'm excited to learn stuff like that. And I know if I don't know about it, then there's a lot of other people that don't either, so that's exciting. And then the last thing, I guess, is, on February 29th, Marquette is having their annual meeting at Barrel and Beam. And they're talking about an invasive they have there on their trails, and then they have like a test kitchen, they're gonna have food, and, I'm planning on going. It's a Thursday at 6 o'clock, I think Glenn was interested, and, if there's anybody else, short of a quorum, we could go.
No, for social stuff, you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
as long as it's not business. I'm learning some of this stuff. But anyway, I wanted to put that invitation out there. We'll go, it's at 6 o'clock, we'll ride out there, it's a Thursday. But I feel it's a really great way to see how they're doing their annual meeting and just to meet some of our partners in conservation. So I wanted to put that out there. What I'll be working on, I also put that down. We're gonna start going through the personnel policies, so the next meeting, what I plan to do is meet with staff and we'll take a section. I know they've already looked at it, but we're gonna take a section and really dissect it and get their ideas and kind of formulate something, and then I'll bring it to the next board meeting, in March, and then we will tackle that and get that section in the books. So, the other thing is staff training modules. I think I talked about with, Joe, background noise is great. With retention, I think would be the first one, but maybe, there'll be something that the staff will be responsible for, going through, and hopefully once we get the policies up, that might be one, but then we'll all sign off on it. So retention was probably the one for, I guess, mid-February to March. The next one will be, retention, and I have a little link they can watch, and then we'll sign off on that, and then we'll have a discussion afterwards. And let's see, work agreements are something that Rachel mentioned that are expected to be done and were not done, in October. So she sent me a template for district manager. I started, going through that one and kind of filled in the blanks and a couple things, sent it to Joe, and then we'll get that one set, and then we'll move on to, yeah, I just did it, like,
So when you do those, yeah, it should be Glenn and I since we're personnel.
okay.
So send it to both.
Are these the ones that
Yes,
she sent?
remember you have to walk my hand a little bit, there's some of
Do you
them.
know who's on all the committees, or is that something we should go over?
She's learning that right now.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
Alright.
sorry, I'm just gonna make a note. Okay, and then, so we'll have to have a work agreement for each one. Rhonda and Michaela told me they've never done them, but Holly and I believe Lindsay has. And, I think that's it. It's a lot, sorry.
Two things I could inject. One,
Yes.
Mike and I went to the Gladstone Marsh area that, we don't own it, but we have a running
Maintenance.
agreement with the state of Michigan and, city. We have some money in the bank to work out there. And I called Eric Thompson, who was the initiator, or the person that signed the state, agreement, and, gonna talk to him again about, things we're looking at, and bounce this all off you, obviously, but started the thing, we just took an initial look at it, cause it had been, since 2012, we've, had this thing on record, and a little bit of work has been done out there, but Tom Towser retired, and he'd still like to be involved, and another gentleman, so there are some options out there for us.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Future, if you wanna add, we could add that to the agenda
Sure.
or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that piece of property needs,
Yeah, if you wanna put it on the
Sufficient
agenda or
amounts of-
Yeah, I
put it
didn't
on a
think
board
about it.
report or
Effort.
something.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Okay,
Good. Anything else? Thank you very much.
yeah, you're welcome.
And in the future, as you develop these things,
Yes.
they can go from your report to the agenda.
Okay,
Cause like when you develop personnel policy, if we're gonna do chapter by chapter, we can approve it chapter by chapter, however you
Yes.
feel. But if it needs a board action, then we'll incorporate it, off of the reports into business. And we'll
Okay.
just start at new business and then move up to unfinished.
alright, sounds good.
Cool, thank you. Commissioner liaison report. I haven't heard anything on that. Moving along to unfinished business. Attorney General Assistance. This is something I've been handling. I've sent everything off to the Attorney General regarding their offer, to review the, Roy Mattson's contracts and what obligations we may have if there's any claims. So it's all out. I put it all together and it's been sent, so we'll just await a response from the AG. Any questions? No? Accounting firm update, Schneider Larch Hopla and Company. The accountant is still working on, basically organizing our QuickBooks. So, and there was just an announcement from QuickBooks that they're ending desktop version, which is what the district's always been run off on. So eventually, everything's gonna be uploaded to the internet. There'll be an online system, and, the accountant should be done basically importing all the data, at the end of this week, I think, is what he indicated, last thing I saw. And then next week, he's planning on starting the, reconciliation. So that everything that was done prior to us, or end of this year is put together, and then moving forward,
end of
it'll
the
be
year or
just-
fiscal year.
I don't,
I'm not
I
sure
don't
on that.
remember. I think it was, yeah. So right now, everything's like on pause. So like in the treasurer's report, I noticed like, it looks
Right.
like we've lost a lot of money. It's only because if we do things on QuickBooks now and we update them, it'll override what he has done.
Right.
So it's important that the accountant has the ability to import everything and then, do the reconciliation, and then we can bring in, basically what we're doing now.
Right. Which
I
is
think
what I
it's-
was
I
looking
think it's
at.
the- It's either, I think it's the first, is it the first of the year? I don't remember. Do you know
What?
where the cutoff was? Was it fiscal year or first of the year? I thought it was first.
It was, the first one was January 1, December 31st.
Okay.
And the last one was the last day of January, so January 31st.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there 31 days in January? I think that's right.
Yeah, 30
Yes,
days.
Yeah.
yes.
January 31st.
I reported last month that, you know, the guidance from last month that was gonna be done in January, but it looks like it's gonna take a little longer. But, we're still making payroll, so we're doing.
Making
We're
headway.
doing something right. And I think we still have a few dollars in the bank.
We're flush.
We're flush, all right. Purchase of the color copier, which has been tabled until now.
Oh,
Heather?
I didn't know that you had talked about it before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, last month, right when I was in.
Well, yeah, we've been tabling this for a while.
Okay, so, I request to purchase a copier, right, Mike? Mike's my backup here. We can't run a business without, on an inkjet. I have that quote from Mike in my report. No, but in all seriousness,
Troublemaker.
we use the copier a lot, and when I was looking, and I plan on using it more as we do more community outreach and different events and work with landowners. So we used to have a copy machine that we used over at Pioneer Trail. We don't have that anymore. Cooper had, I guess, approached y'all last month with a quote, and when I talked to Rachel, I mean, just to see, do other districts have these big copiers? Are they running on inkchecks or what? And she's like, yeah, everybody's got one, and they go through a program called MyDeal. And then MyDeal, basically, because we're a unit of government, gives us a nice break on the cost, but there's an annual fee. So the annual fee is $180, and then what most districts will do is purchase the copier, and then so they're only paying 1 year, and then they just don't renew it. Which that's, you know, you can get vehicles, you can get all kinds of stuff through this program. But anyway, so I got a call. Cooper is the authorized representative, is who MyDeal got a hold of to get a hold of me to give us the quotes. And the quotes were like half the price. So when Steve Eagle, the representative here, gave me the quotes, he's like, oh, I thought you guys were nonprofit. And so the first quote came to us as a nonprofit, but recognizing us as a unique form of government, we got a huge deal. So I have, you know, the two costs here. Do you want me to go over that, or?
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom line is at $2,500. So $180 for the annual membership, and then it's $2,500 for the one that I think, you know, there's two of them, but the least cost would be 25 copies a minute. It saves tons of money. We worked it out to be 12 cents or 12 times less a page that's printed when we did all the math. And then there is the monthly maintenance, but the maintenance is about $25 a month we pay for, and it includes all the toner and everything, so we don't pay for that
It's
anymore.
all through Cooper.
Ink and toner are included
Yes.
in the maintenance.
And
In the
travel
maintenance.
and travel and labor.
All of that. So he'll come every month for $25 around and some cents, and then we own it when it's done. So $2,554.94. He said he could add the 180 right to that because it takes about a month to get it. They like ship them from China. He said literally ship them from China. So I have the quotes if you want to look at them.
And this will do high volume if you need it?
Yes.
I think the
Scanning,
quote,
printing,
we
copying.
had before was like 5,000.
Yes, it's right
It
here.
sure was.
$5,395.
And that was,
And that was a discount.
And that was a big deal.
yeah, cause these are like,
Yes.
what, 10K?
So the one he quoted us for is $13,026.95. So yeah. So it's about a $10,000 savings if we get this $2,500 one. This one's $3,000, but it's just a little bit faster, and we don't really need that. You know, this is 25 copies per minute, 25 impressions, they say. Black and white color.
And isn't there like the first 10,000 is something?
impressions over 10,000 will be 0.0075 cents. For maintenance,
Three-quarters of a
that's
cent.
just a maintenance, so that's at $25, but I don't think we would even need that. So, that's my pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants a printer, we want a
So-
printer.
Have you gotten this pitch yet?
The more you spend, the more you save.
More you spend, more, yeah, it's not just.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we plan on really doing a lot for our
And it's
community
color
here.
copier.
Given my,
It's color, yeah.
my suggestion was, can't you just use that big one in another room? And you looked at me and said, I don't think so.
I tried that too. Didn't get very far.
No,
You did.
And I just wanna
Thanks,
confirm,
Mike.
you did say you can't run an office on a jet,
inkjet.
inkjet?
I've seen districts do that in the past, and the district managers weren't very happy with it.
Oh.
And as far as our machine, you know, if Lindsay or Holly are going on an appointment, and then, you know, that appointment might lead to participation in our programs, they're welcome to print colored maps and that kind of thing. But, you know, like meeting agendas for your meetings, or, tree sale catalogs, that's kind of a big no-no for our agency. Those
Okay.
kind of those enterprise activities, or those activities are, you know, distinctly separate from ours, yes.
Sure.
Well, it'll give us, more stuff to sell, right?
Mhm.
Cause we get rid of those other printers. It's a printer too, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a
Printer,
printer, copier, scanner,
Okay.
it
And
does it
I-
all, it slices, it dices,
I
it chops.
I do believe.
As part of the,
Yeah, I do believe we have to keep one of the printers dedicated for just printing checks.
Yes,
So
we
you-
would keep one of
That is
those.
correct.
But we have two more after that, so.
Yes. So I have all this information.
I've heard enough.
we've heard
But
this.
you
Ah!
guys, well, I looked at the Cooper one,
Yeah.
and this is already,
Yeah.
so.
I would move that we purchase that and quit
And
quibbling about it.
what was the bottom line on that? What was our bottom line cost on that? The one we were making the motion on?
It was like, would you say 2,800 or something?
It's I just put it, it's 54.94
Plus
plus,
180.
yeah, plus the 180, so, yeah, it's gonna be about $2,800, and then the 25,
Okay, a month is a service charge.
yes, $25 a month.
Right.
Then we're done, right?
Oh, we're done. Mike, motion?
Motion,
Okay,
I'll
good.
second.
Second? Is there any discussion?
No.
had
I mean,
enough.
we took a good deal, we took a good deal and cut it in half, so.
There you go. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
that.
Thank
Well,
you,
now,
the
yeah,
staff
we
will
gotta
be very
vote.
happy,
We got a
oh.
motion. So-
All
Okay.
those in favor of buying a color copier for the district office signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries. Thank you.
Can we do one of these after motions?
What was that? Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Staff will be
Uh,
happy.
County financial obligation to the district. Given that, the account is still doing the reconciliation, we're not really in a position to review that and finalize it. However, we did get a check from the county, I think based on the last meeting, that the finance committee attended, and it was on January 2nd, and Rory was there, but, he wasn't working for the district then, so.
And there were no district.
Yeah, and we still have outstanding, I brought up two issues to the county, to Administrator Ashley Young. The first one is NK Electric did work, several years ago on an emergency, and,
Right.
Rory explained he thought the bill was too high, he didn't pay it. And so I wanna know the details of that, I think it was about $800, and that was for work in the parks.
If I recall, Joe, that came up in September.
It could have been, yeah.
Or August even.
And I
Yeah.
asked
And
when it
moved
was.
that it was done. It should have been part of the
We don't have it though.
records. Oh, it's,
Okay, we just don't have, so I don't have I don't know when it was, so I've asked the county to let us know when that was by asking Steve. I
Sure.
mean, if someone wants to reach out to Steve on their own, that would work too, and then we can go back to that time period and look for it. I like looking for these sort of things.
Do you
So-
want me to talk to Steve about that?
You could do that, yeah,
I
that'd be
think
great.
I worked there when that happened, actually,
Yeah, if we can nail that down, and
Mhm.
there's outstanding invoice, I'd like to get it paid.
Okay,
Because, the work was done, and it just wasn't itemized, but, you know, it's good to follow up on your contractors, especially when they're good ones. So, that's one issue, and then, of course, the other issue is Steve Wary and his incentive. So, I do have a
What-
check.
What are we gonna do as far as going back to the check from the county? We're not gonna cash that until we finalize the expenses and stuff,
Do
correct?
you wanna put that in a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that
Absolutely.
we do not cash the check from the county for our 10% at this time until we're satisfied with, you know, with all the expenses, that everything's been covered.
Support.
Okay. Got a motion and support. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor of not cashing that check signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. I think we can move on to the Steve Wary, who joined us, was on the agenda last month. I captured his testimony in the meeting minutes. Steve brought a claim to us that incentive pay was something that was promised to him last year, but that it was primarily like a verbal agreement or handshake. And I did some digging, and there is a file in the district that has like employee work agreements, and there are work agreements for all the employees, except there was not one for Steve Wary. However, last year, before I was on the board in May, I started FOIing for work agreements for Rory and Holly and Steve, and I ended up getting one from Steve Wary. And that was provided to me, I think, in early June. That's what I sent out earlier, that this is a work agreement with Steve Wary, and it was in early June. And then just today, cause one question I had for Steve last month was who promised that incentive pay, and he said it was Rory and the board. And today, I did find an email to the board of directors with this exact same work agreement attached to it. So the board of directors, and none of us were on the board at the time, this was in May 21st of last year.
23.
Yeah, so this is a contemporary work agreement with Steve. And if you read through it, it talks about, I mean, the most important thing is a mutual employment agreement between the Conservation District and Steve Wary was reached years ago and is still in effect. The agreement reached was decided because the county owns the park and not the Conservation District, and therefore the agreement could be terminated each year. In fiscal year '23, the CD budgeted, as in the past, $60,000 for Mr. Wary's salary through September 30th. Also in the agreement, if the camping revenue showed a profit after expenses, the CD would add another $5,000 to $10,000 to Mr. Wary's yearly salary, depending on work effort. And, I mean, there it is. It's not signed, but none of these work agreements are signed.
Can I make a point is,
Yeah.
he did also say that in conjunction with negotiations with the county, Ashley Young knows about this too.
He did, yeah. But when I've approached Ashley with this, I mean, her thought is that this should be taken out of the 10%. I haven't addressed that issue yet. I just looked in to see if I could substantiate what Steve told us at the last meeting. And as far as I'm concerned, his testimony is consistent with incentive pay. I also went back and he said, go back and look at that work history 4 or 5 years, at least 5 years. But I can tell you, since 2011 to 2022, he's received a bonus or incentive pay, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they're different things, but it's, know, it's not identified here. I don't know why his salary wasn't set at 70,000 instead of 60,000, but, that's neither here nor there, given that work agreement. And I can tell you, from 2014 to last year, he received $10,000 a year, except for 2019, he received 7,500. So that's also supported by our records. And this is extra compensation. And so if camping revenue showed a profit after expenses, the CD would add another 5,000 to 10,000 to Mr. Ware's yearly salary, depending on work ethic, or not ethic, I'm sorry, work effort.
I have one question when I read through this is something I've noticed with a lot of documents that we've looked at. There's number dates on them,
Yeah.
and very disturbing actually, that there's not a date. So, I mean, I'm not implying anything here, it's just that there's no date.
I've noticed the same.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is how this was operating. I mean, I agree with you, there's all sorts of things like that. I mean, this is one reason that, you know, I think it's important for an accountant to do the reconciliation. So
Okay.
we're not starting over.
Right.
We're having professionals do it that can support that work and defend it. You know, a couple other things I found was when looking through this, Steve was paid 165 hours of vacation time. And that's an overpayment, because our district policy, and we talked about this in August, we cap it at 160. There was something else, there was overtime, which this contract says no overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the rates were off. This rate from October 2023 to December 2023, he's supposed to get an hourly salary of $33.65, which is a bump up from what he had before. So when you put everything together, his overpayments versus what he should have been, and it all comes out pretty close, and it comes in at about $8,000. The difference between 10,000 and that comp time that he was paid, because he thought the fairest approach would be to subtract the comp time that he was paid, not his vacation time accrued, but the comp time from the incentive pay at a rate of 10,000. That would leave 8, and that would make it consistent with all other years. So, and the contract from the county is supposed to cover that. So what I would say is, you know, I can go back now, if you guys agree that he has a claim here, I can go back to the county and we can start discussing, getting Mr. Wary what he was promised back in May of 2023.
Myself personally wholeheartedly agree with that.
Okay.
That we shouldn't, if we need to make it in a form of a motion, I would be willing to make that motion.
Did you just do that?
Yes, because we look.
Is there a second to that motion?
Support.
Support. So I have a motion and support to approach the county and validate
Try to
Mr.
resolve
Ware's claim and try to resolve this in negotiating with the county over fiscal year, I guess it was fiscal year 23. And I can also, you know, I'll also take it to the accountant so they can reconciliate,
Yes.
what's that word again? Do the reconciliation. That's no word for Joe Gay. Any more discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much. What's next? Turn the page.
Come closer.
The old dump trailer. All right, well, I did some digging on this. The way we left this before, we have a copy of a certificate of title and meeting minutes from December of 2015 that indicated that the county, the district, and Mr. Manson went in a three-way deal on a dump trailer for $6,000. And I have not checked yet with the Secretary of State, but we're gonna need some sort of documentation. Because one thing that happened is, I found a bill of sale that there's a notification that the Delta Conservation District has sold Rory Mattson a dump trailer, and it's dated September 19th, 2022. And I have his last day employment saying that he still has 1/3 ownership and he's willing to buy us out. So I see this, it's not signed, but it was $2,000, which made me think maybe there was a mistake. I don't think he'd forget paying the district and buying our dump trailer. There's nothing in the meeting minutes. I was around for that time. There was no discussion about selling that trailer to Mr. Mattson. I did find a check dated 9/5/22 in the amount of $2,000, signed by Mr. Mattson from Mr. Mattson's personal account to the district, Delta CD, and it's to buy partnership trailer. So that's 9/5/2022, and it posted on September 19th, 2022, the same day as this bill of sale.
So, in looking at that, does that mean that that was his contribution of the $2,000 and then the county ponied up $2,000 and the district pointed up
This is
$2,000?
2022.
Right.
The original sale was back in 2016. So I went back to check to see how it was originally funded, and according, yeah, it just gets better and better. Portion of payment for new trailer. There was three. One was taken from Parks Equipment, right? 2,000 was taken from operational expenses, capital outlay, and another 2,000 was taken from operational expenses, capital outlay, with the notation in QuickBooks, Rory's portion of payment for the new trailer, part of bonus from fiscal year 15. So,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to say.
Is that
Bonus.
like redesignating your money?
I have no idea. I mean, this is not, so we can't do anything until we get a certificate title. So, I'm just giving you an update. I'll bring it to the county, see how they wanna handle it, and we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay. Starting to boil here a little bit.
Don't boil too much.
I just wanna know where in the hell these titles are and or some descriptor of these trailers. And we haven't been able to ascertain that yet, have we?
None of them.
No, I'm still working on it.
Not
So,
even, not only the trailers, we're talking the side-by-side. And the only bill of sale we have on the tractor is from Northgate.
Yeah, we have
And
that. I mean,
I acquired that.
we're still finding documents. I mean,
We don't have any,
That would be titled as well, wouldn't it?
you would think so, but all we have is a
Side-by-side would have to be
proof,
titled.
all we have is a proof of purchase from Northgate. There is no type of registry, there is no registration on the side-by-side at all. It has never been registered. It's been used out in the world.
so the next step is I wanna talk to the county. I mean, I've already talked to Ashley about this. But I'll talk to her again, and I'll also talk to the Secretary of State and see what they recommend we do.
My concern is one thing. If someone walked into that number 22 and took that side-by-side out of there and stole it, we're out to lunch.
No, that'd still be theft.
Yeah, but we don't have any,
It'd be theft.
we don't have any
Yeah,
proof
we
of
have-
ownership.
We
don't
have
have proof of
insurance.
ownership.
It doesn't- We have proof of ownership, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, we have a bill of sale, from.
But if we want to sell
But we have no-
some of this stuff, if we wanna sell it, we're not in a position to sell it because,
Or register it to use it. Same thing on the trailers. The trailers
Yeah.
need to be registered and insured,
yeah, insured.
period. The biggest thing is insurance,
it.
and in order to insure them,
So,
we need to have them registered and titled and plated.
There is no title on trailers,
Yeah, but there's a registration on trailers.
yes, but no title.
There is no registration on the trailers we have. That's what I'm saying.
May I ask you this, can they be reissued? Can they be retitled?
I can ask Secretary of State.
Yeah, you just have to
Please,
trace
But
down.
we're also gonna have to get the other two owners to cooperate
I
there.
got you there, and I
So,
see the man's name right here.
All right,
Yes.
I could keep working on it.
The two in question that were bought new, I don't think they'll create as much of a problem, but the registration, when I said title, I'm more or less meaning registration, because
Yeah.
none of them are, you can get a permanent registration for them and a permanent plate.
Right.
Okay, just for my own
It needs to be
edification.
done, but they are not done, they have never been titled, never been registered, and
I hear you.
no plates, so there's not been insurance on it.
And we're missing 2 trailers yet?
Well, the question is, according to the paper trail, we have in our possession, we have 3 trailers with the dump trailer. We have the trailer for the tractor, the trailer for the side by side,
Yeah.
and the third trailer was turned over to the county
Yep.
because that was the original one we bought, that when the tractor put on the side by side, it was too long.
Okay.
So that in turn went to the county, so that's the county's problem. They need to deal with that.
And we still don't have the
That's
VIN
not
off-
ours.
off
But according to the
trailer
paper trail,
registers.
there's 2 more trailers that have been out there, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a total of 4 trailers, we have possession of 2 of them. The other 2 are
I'd like
not
to,
heard of.
I'd like to, yeah. We need to get through the dump trailer first.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
and
'Cause
then
that's
we
the
need
one
to,
that-
Yeah,
we
one
need
at
to
a
get
time.
through to the other trailers too, by the time we
Don't
roll
worry.
around in spring, if we're gonna use them.
Sure.
So continue digging. eh?
Okay. You sure? Keep digging?
I'm
All right.
sure of that.
Yeah, I'd hate to see Heather hauling the trailer,
I
or
know.
tractor on
I
the
know.
trailer somewhere. And end up having to, we end up having
She's the
to,
place
Drive
up
it.
there.
we end up having to make a motion for bail money, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't do it, I
I hope so.
mean,
Moving right
might
along,
take some.
so someone can go clean his
Yeah.
fridge.
Oh, that's right.
Email requirements for board members, we had talked about that last month, with basically, you know, for record retention and FOIAs and that sort of thing, getting everyone on an email account that's, I guess traceable, so through
Aren't we on-
MACD.
aren't we now?
We are, but we had talked about Russ Ross.
Oh, yeah, well,
So I can tell you, I didn't do any work on this because I was too busy, trying to find.
right, but we're covered,
Okay.
the
Yeah, the
existing
3 of us
4
are
of us,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
the 4 of
so-
us are good.
Let's just, if it's okay, I'll just, take no action on this and we'll keep it as old business.
Okay,
Sound good?
sounds good.
All right, moving on to new business, payment of bills.
I move that we pay our bills. We have all stacked.
And you guys haven't seen this, so there was a motion we passed that 4 days before, you guys get to see everything. But we're still trying to catch up.
We're
to
working
that.
on it.
That's
Yeah,
a
'cause I mean-
deficiency on my side or our side, whatever I can.
Although some of these had been
It's been a
available.
lot of work keeping the wheels on the wagon and, dealing with tree sale and onboarding.
So
and
how
all
would
that.
how does that work then? If you see them 4 days before, do you just come to the office or?
No, basically, we would just put a list together
Okay,
and then send that out so that.
You would just
board-
email it to us,
Yeah,
right?
that board
To our
members
accounts?
can look.
okay.
Here's
Mhm.
one for this.
Oh,
guy.
I saw
Right.
that, okay.
But instead of doing that, did this go out today? Or yesterday, or?
13th yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could try to bump that up, maybe 4 days is
We can work on it a little bit
optimistic,
better.
I don't know.
Is one of these payments, did we make a payment to one of these nurseries?
Oh, yeah, we made 3.
Well, I know I see those, but
They haven't been sent yet, Glenn. These are just,
what about,
The bills to
what
be
about the
paid.
one that we were overdue on? I thought there was
Oh,
one
I'm sorry,
signed.
you know what? Mike and I did sign and send out, we sent
that
out,
was
Yep.
what were those 2? They're in the packet.
yeah.
Is that the one to Evergreen?
That's what I thought it was. Evergreen was,
I'm sorry, I don't recall. Which ones do we mail, what is that? Fisher Insurance was one,
Fisher Insurance,
cause that was way
Charter.
overdue.
it's one of the nurseries. You did send it to the nursery.
It should be Evergreen.
No, Mike and I only,
Workman's
signed
Comp.
2.
What?
Workman comp, what else?
Just just a minute, that day you were gonna,
These two.
cause we were late, and you were gonna write a check.
To who?
One of those-
Evergreen.
Evergreen, she says.
I think it's in here, but it's not.
I think the
Not
check is
sent.
in there, we haven't sent it yet
Correct.
Who?
to Evergreen.
They'll get over it.
Who?
That's okay.
They like our money.
Let's just
Yeah,
make
so
sure,
we did-
let's make sure we're not overpaying.
Yeah, we paid our workman's comp to Fisher, oh, that's what it was, we were delinquent on
On
workman's comp
workman's comp.
insurance, from the first. Yeah, it had, the invoice was 12/9, and we didn't learn about it,
Till late.
till, yeah. And then Spectrum. Spectrum's
Can you
bill.
double check with Heather though, to make sure that you said you didn't write a check.
No,
Is
we
this
have-
the,
It
is this
would be
the
right
full
here.
amount, is this the full amount for Evergreen then?
One of them's only 50%,
No,
I noticed.
Evergreen's only 50%
Yeah.
of the
It's a half
total.
down.
That was their
isn't it?
deposit that they needed.
Alright, fine, just.
This is 17,558.75, is that total or is that the 50%?
Oh, there it
That's
is.
50%,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's in the 50% of total.
Which is
due.
due in January, so that's why we were trying to get that one out soon.
Armor, Evergreen, and Coldstream,
Oh, there's Coldstream on there too.
Yes.
1735.
1735.
Yeah, the difference would be Bailey's. Bailey's, I just spoke with today, and we're not gonna pay them until afterwards.
We
That
don't
might
have a
be
Bailey's
taken
in
out.
here.
There's no Bailey, that
Yeah.
32,000?
Yeah, there is Bailey's
Wait,
Nursery.
On this list, but not, there shouldn't be a check.
There is a check.
In here, for Bailey's?
Yeah,
No.
it says there is.
Yeah, on here.
No,
but-
there's amount, but not a check, she's saying. Cause
Yeah.
we don't have to pay them until after.
We thought we had to pay them, as I stumble through all this.
Well, these are bills.
Mhm.
These are bills.
So that one is different. We won't pay that. They wanna do it net 30 after it's delivered, then we have 30 days to pay it.
Armor,
Oh.
Evergreen, and
So maybe in the
Coldstream.
future list what bills we're paying, and then
Gotcha.
bills.
Separately from
Okay. Got it.
Endless Business.
Yeah, I went through.
Well, let's,
Any questions on the bills?
let's give a big positive, let's sell some trees.
Yeah, okay.
63,322 in. These trees.
Wanna make a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make, well, he made the,
I presented the bills.
well, then I'll make the motion to pay the
I'll
bills.
second it.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor of paying our bills, say aye.
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 Opposed? Bills are paid. Thank you.
And that's,
To do
you're gonna
that.
note that we're paying these bills listed except for the Bailey's Nursery.
Do we have to do a roll call on bills?
Yes.
Yeah.
We gotta do roll call on bills? I don't think so.
I'm not questioning, I'm
Oh.
not the authority, I was just questioning.
Wow, that's it for new business. That was easy. General public comment. Anybody for general public comment? General public comment? All right, seeing none. Board member comments. Nate?
The only thing I'd like to comment on is that the positive direction that it's been going. We're actually seeing some fruits of the labors here, so, and really looking forward to working with Heather. Have been nothing but impressed. I think it's gonna work out very well. It's going very well for us. And welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, ditto on that. Buying my trees and shrubs, it really is user-friendly. It works very easily.
You just like the disco.
I had to be.
Face it.
Yeah, it was nice. But, I think we've got a lot of good things that are going here. A lot of good things to do, and working with the staff. Hopefully, we are going to get together at some point, and we'll meet each other a little more. But,
Yes.
let's keep moving forward, and thanks for all the help that people have been doing.
Michael?
Welcome aboard,
Thank you.
so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it's really positive, I appreciate it.
All right, happy Valentine's Day.
That too?
Thanks
all
for,
you lovers.
thanks for spending part of your evening with us. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So
I'll
moved.
second it.
Seconded by Nate, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're gonna call this at,
Porch cleaning time.
what time
Yeah.
is it?
6:40.
6:40, thank you.